Well, what's going on, everybody? Just give me a second here. Let me get all this set up. I've got to go through all the different Facebook pages. Should have had this YouTube opened up on Field Release. It's not as easy as it used to be. All right, let's see here. There we are. Oh, well. A little dead air here. Just give me a second. Let me get all these links posted. Then it'll be smooth sailing. All right, so there we go. All right. Okay, what's going on, brother? Just trying to get everything set up. Roger's not going to be with us again tonight. He's not hunting. He's not in Michigan. He's sick. So everybody pray that Roger gets better. He wasn't feeling good Wednesday and said he's worse today than he was then. So he sounded pretty congested when I talked to him earlier. So he's sick. And we still have just about 18 more people needed so I can set up my Facebook destination so we can so I can stream directly to Facebook instead of having to go through this YouTube account and post YouTube links. I'll be able to post a Facebook link. I don't want to go through Damon's page and deal with all that and interfere with what's going on his page. So I sent out invites, and hopefully we can get a few more people. If you see it in the invite box, be sure to you don't have to like. A lot of people, I think, been going in and just hitting the like button. We actually need you to follow. We have to have 100 followers in each of these groups that we're creating for these stream destinations. We have to have a stream destination, and So Facebook changed it up. We used to be able to do it just to like the militia page itself. But they don't allow us to do that anymore to group pages. So we have to stream to individual pages like what we're setting up. So we have a something other than a group destination. I mean, StreamYards and Facebook are kind of butting heads right now. Facebook wants to do the streaming, wants everybody to stream on their own, do the live streams, and that's it. And it's all cool if you're just doing a live stream on Facebook, but we want to be able to reach out to more people and expand and reach a lot of YouTube. We got a lot of YouTube followers, getting some Twitch followers. So, which reminds me, I don't even remember. So, yeah, we're streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook as soon as we can get enough people to sign into our page. So I know it's getting in the holidays and a lot of people got Christmas going on. So I know during Thanksgiving, the streams were very slow. Not a lot of people in them, and that's to be expected. Everybody's got family and things to deal with, and that's what we're all about. Is family. So I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving and has a good Christmas and gets to spend time with family. That's what it's all about. So what's been going on, everybody? I'm trying to look at the different platforms and see what's going on each. So I have my Twitch open right now. We're gonna gotta get the Twitch. So we're gonna do some more different destinations. Yeah, Twitch is working good, so that's awesome. So it seems like Twitch and YouTube are pretty easy. Rumble and Kick, um, not as. I've got to go through and set up my account on Rumble, and verify and do some other things and get it set up and get so many followers on there, which won't be tough at all to do on Rumble. I've been on there for a little while on just viewing um, sites on Rumble, but we get on there. So hopefully we can get some more people on here and be able to ask some questions and see what everybody's up to right now, what kind of fermentations everybody's got going on. I wonder if everybody getting notifications. They're not getting it on Facebook like they're used to. So we're used to streaming just to Facebook, and then we're using Philbilly's, page now. So we're streaming through Philbilly's page, and we got a page set up on YouTube for the militia, but not a lot of got a lot of Philbilly followers on there, but not a lot of militia subscribers yet. So probably should have streamed this to Philbilly's page instead of the militia page, but I'd better ask him before I do that. Yeah, I'm not real good about sitting here doing this all by myself. I'm used to having somebody to talk to and questions and answers going on. I don't want to just sit here and ramble. Like we picked up another one. If y'all need a comment so I know who's on here. And I can't tell. It doesn't tell me who's coming on. So if you're on here, say something in the comments. I'm gonna start looking on here on Facebook and see who's on that now. I think Ferg was wanting to start doing some jump on here and stream with me. I'm pretty sure he's probably got a ball game tonight though. So he's gonna be busy. So I'm getting ready to start an apple brandy. What all y'all got going on? Yeah, I apologize, y'all. We're gonna get this lined up. We're gonna another apple for you. That's awesome, man. So you using just apples or apples and apple juice, a little cider along with it? How you doing yours? You might as well get this party started the right way. Shot time. That peach brandy 100 proof, pretty tasty. Apples and juice and frosted flakes. That's new. I guess the frosted flakes add a little bit of nutrients and a little bit of sugar at the same time. That'll work. That's a good thing to do. You ever tried throwing any oats in there with it to soften it up a little bit? I bet it is. That's a good idea using the frosted flakes. It'll add your sugar and your nutrients at the same time. Those flakes have about everything you need in them. It's got the yeast assimilable nitrogen, the free amino nitrogen. Good stuff. Yeah, a lot of people know about the YAN, the yeast assimilable nitrogen, but they don't know about the free amino nitrogen too. It's also needs both of those really to feed the yeast and to get a real good fermentation going bigger. So, a lot of people, oh, mine does fine. I don't use that. It will work. But what happens is as your yeast goes through its life cycle, if it doesn't have everything it needs, it stresses, and it causes stress. And anytime there's stress, you're going to get a lot of congeners and off flavors. Sometimes you can get some good flavors from stress, but most often it's not going to be good. So, kind of an advanced distilling thing, individuals know how to stress yeast a certain way at a certain time to get a certain unique character and flavor, but it's pretty advanced distilling. But a lot of the yeast gets stressed, and what happens, it ends up dying. They only have a certain lifespan, and it'll die. And if the other yeast don't have good nutrients, they start cannibalizing each other, and that just creates more stress and more. Your raisin bran's good. Yeah, raisin bran will work. I mean, any brand will work. The raisins, I've heard a lot of people talking about using raisins as a nutrient, and they're okay for one of the reasons I'll say that people like them and use them a lot is when you throw in a bunch of raisins, you'll immediately see some reaction going on because of the wild yeast. Raisins are covered in wild yeast unless they've been treated. A lot of the new A lot of raisins, depending on where you get them, they're treated to kill off the wild yeast and stuff. But if you get something that has, you can tell when it's got that little white coating on them. It's got that wild yeast on there. So they use them, and something happens almost instantly. And they're like, see, that's working. But it's just introducing, excuse me, the wild yeast in there. But really, there's not a lot of, there's some nutrients that it can get from the raisin, but it's not getting what it needs, nor to the amount of what it needs. It's not getting the yan or the fan I was talking about earlier. And, there's a lot of other nutrients that it's not getting. It's getting some. I mean, it does help some, but what really raisins help the most is giving it a soft mouth feel, kind of like oats. I guess that's what you're replying, raisin bran, because that'll. When I ask you about using oats, you can use the raisin bran too, and those raisins will give it a soft mouth feel and some flavor. I mean, it's great for that, but it's something that probably is not best to be used as a nutrient alone. Much like a lot of people like using the tomato paste and tomato juice and all these different tomato products, which is a great nutrient for everything but the Yannon fan. I mean, it's got a lot of micronutrients and a lot of zinc, selenium, molybdenum. There's a lot of different nutrients that are in there that will definitely help the yeast, but it still needs that yeast assimilable nitrogen, the free amino nitrogen, and it doesn't have it. So, if you want to use the tomato paste, the bird watchers, I've read the recipe for the bird watchers, and it they're usually getting the nutrients from the abundance of yeast that are added. If you look at that the bird watcher recipe, it uses a ton of fucking yeast, man, a whole lot of yeast. So what's happening is you're overdosing with yeast, which causes stress. You're having a lot of yeast dying off because of the stresses and overpopulation and lack of food. So again, they become the food. So that's really not the best route to go. I know, a lot of people, oh well, I've done it and it worked out fine. Well, if that flavor is good for you, then there's more power to you. If you like it, go for it. But for a lot of people, those off flavors are a put off. It's just not making something that appeals to the most. So you can make a lot of different things and get a lot of different results. And some people like it, some people won't. Some people can go in that liquor store and they'll buy the cheapest bottom shelf liquor and swear it's just as good as any other. And you got other people that wouldn't touch anything except what's on that top shelf. And you got people that like to feel they're getting a pretty good value going on the middle shelf. But so it's all boils down to just what people like. So there's no facts when it comes to that. It's all just opinion. I mean, you can do it that way, but it's just when you share it with people, don't expect them to smile after after you hand them the jar. They're gonna be like, "Man, this is yeah, it's not bad." That's what they'll say. It's not bad. First time using aquarium heater and it's working great. Keeping it at 86. No, I'd say that's perfect. Really, I know bread yeast. I'm not sure what kind of yeast you're using. It. I don't think you said, but a daity or a bread yeast, those can handle those, upper 80s, low 90s temperatures, even up to 100. They'll talk about using, 100 when you like using it for bread. A lot of people think, oh, I can just add it at 100 for my fermentation. And then it's a little different for bread that you're going to raise for, an hour or four versus a fermentation that you expect that yeast to do some work over a longer period of time. So it's probably not the best to add it at those higher temperatures. 1118 and daity, cool. Yeah. So yeah, that the EC 1118 is it's a champagne yeast. A lot of people don't know that. It's a Saccharomyces cerevisiae ex bayanus, and that's the strain of it, and it's actually a really good all around yeast, probably the best all around yeast there is to use. If you only had to buy one yeast, I'd probably recommend that. But If you're going to do a lot of different things, a lot of different fermentations, you can experiment with a lot of different yeast if you like it. It's different flavors, but 1118 and Deity, pretty much the standards. If you're gonna have two, Deity for the grains, 1118 for pretty much everything else, and that's what a lot of people stick to. A lot of brandies, 1118 is definitely a good point to start at. And then you can try different yeast for different flavors. Different yeast will give your fermentations and your distillations different flavor profiles and characters. So, I encourage everybody to try different yeasts and experiment and see what you like. The But anyway, back to the raisin bran. The actual bran flakes. I know you're talking about frosted flakes. I'm pretty sure those are a corn flake, and those have pretty good nutrients in them. But those bran flakes, those are the bomb, man. That bran has a lot of good nutrients in there, and if you had to, it's if you didn't have other nutrients, or I like using DAP because I can get a big pound bag off Amazon, and it's like 9, $10 for a pound of it. If you buy it in bulk, and it doesn't take much at all. I mean, you're talking little teaspoons, into the size of the, I mean, I guess it depends on how big a mash you got going on, but for what we do, a little teaspoon or two generally covers it, and it's pretty cheap. And when I think I calculated it per mash, and it's like 20 some cents I'm using per mash. Out of the $10, it's like 26 or 8 cents or something like that for every mash. And you can't get a cheaper nutrient really. Even the yeast, if you want to boil it, it's going to end up costing more than that. So it's a pretty good, Fermate or Fermax, all those, are good. They're all based on, you know, uh, off the same nutrient. A lot of winemakers, one thing I'll note is that a lot of these winemakers spent millions of dollars, doing research on nutrients. And if they didn't need nutrients when they were using wine, making wine with grapes, if grapes had enough nutrients in it, they wouldn't need it. That's what a raisin is, basically a dried grape. So there's just not enough in the grape to do it with. So they spent millions of dollars coming up with, diammonium phosphate or DAP, and some of it has food grade urea and some other things in it. And a lot of people knock the flavor, say it gives it all a bad flavor, and they want to knock the product, and oh, well, we like natural and all these things, and that's fine. But some of the best wines, champagnes, and liquor distillations in the world use it. So I'm just going to have to politely disagree with you. But yeah, um, using the aquarium heater seems to work for a lot of people. You just want to make sure that it doesn't get down into the actual grains at the bottom and stuff, or it can cause some issues. I've seen a few fermentations ruined that way. If you got scorched by the damn heater getting down into the solids in the bottom. So if you can keep it suspended and away from the cap and, and away from the bottom, kind of in the middle there in the liquid, that would be optimal. I use these oil field, I ferment now in garbage, big, they're not garbage cans, they're big barrels with, strap on lids, and some of them have screw on lids. But when you start getting into larger fermentation like that, I just said I've got these little radiator looking oil field heaters. I guess everybody's seen them. Um, and they do a pretty good job. They're safe. If they get tipped over, they turn off and they don't have an open, you know, element where it can catch fire real easy. So they're pretty safe to use. And, you set that in I'll put it right in the middle, and I'll just start stacking these barrels all the way around it. And, I can do like 5 or 6 barrels, and that one heater just keep them all perfect, temperature, you know, but that's inside, down here in the basement where it's normally about 70s, mid 70s. Winters, it gets down to about 60 something. I don't heat it much down here, but when I got a mash going, I'll heat it. And I'm getting ready to do some, apple brandy. So I'm going to be breaking out the heater soon. Using the heater outside like a non-heating building or inside a heated room. Yeah. Yeah, it gets tougher when you're inside, an unheated area that's outside and it's not airtight and gets breezy. It gets tough keeping it up to temp, and maybe using those fish, aquarium heaters, is one of the best things to do and use. That because you're getting direct contact heater to the actual liquid, whereas the ambient temperature from one of these radiators might not work as well. So I guess if you could probably build you a little box and get you some of that styrofoam foundation foam or whatever, and kind of foam it up, some of that squirt expanding foam, and seal some cracks, and build you a little fermentation box or something to keep the warmth in. Just be real careful. Don't create any fire hazards. I'd hate for somebody to lose their shed or their house or something like that. Just trying something different and experimenting. So be safe, especially this time of year. A lot of fires this time of year. So Jeffrey, you got you inside or outside where you fermenting? Like a basement or a crawl space, if you got access to it, those stay pretty warm. Crawl spaces do. Close your vents off, and if you got a tall enough crawl, I've seen crawl spaces almost enough to be called a basement. Yeah, it does at room temperature, especially that data yeast. It likes a little warmer. The Lalvin EC1118 will work at those temperatures, but it's slower, and there's nothing wrong with slower. Slow fermentations are actually considered a good thing. Except when you like using grain, generally that goes pretty quick and it's done. But with like your brandies, that's something that you want to go kind of slow. Outside insulated building, but not tried it since it's gotten cold. Yeah, it's not going to be as efficient, outside like that. Those the radiator heaters like I'm using, because I mean but if it's insulated well and it's not too big, it's going to work all right because it's radiant heat, so it's going to heat right next to it. But it not going to keep the whole building warm, but it should work pretty well for your barrels that are right next to it. And it doesn't get hot enough to melt barrels or do anything like that. Yeah, yeah, they can ferment any time of the year, inside, outside, do it all. What's going on, Brian? What's going on, Damon? Anybody want to jump in here with me? Damon, Brian, Diamond, Jeffrey, anybody wants to, you're welcome to jump in here and chat. Let me give Mike a link here. I guess let me see, give me a second. Yeah, Damon, I've not figured out how when we streaming last night and getting comments from Facebook. Were we streaming to a Facebook page or? Okay, here we go. I'll send some links out here. Flying out early. Oh, so you streamed to Phil's page on Facebook. Okay. I'll have to do that next time till we get mine set up. I didn't want to stream to yours. I don't did we even have that in the destinations fields? I don't recall seeing that in the destinations. It might be there. I can't look now, probably. Yeah. We'll get it all fixed. It's all just a work in progress always, brother. But I'm not going to be on here real late either. You know, it's definitely not going to be a late nighter for me. But we'll get it all set up on the distilling 101 page. I've got like 82, so need 18 more uh, followers on there. Or yeah, followers. A lot of people went to the page and hit like, but we got, you know, which, you know, thanks to all that did that. But we need you to hit that follow button. And if the notifications bother you popping up in your Facebook, you can turn those off instead of going up in there and unliking or, you know, unfollowing or whatever because it's aggravating you. There is a way to turn those notifications off so it doesn't bother you. So we can, you know, because we definitely need the follows to actually stream to that page. You know, it's got to have a minimum of 100. So we're getting pretty close. We're at like 82 right now, so we're getting close. But I'm going to go through, and I think I can easily add, you know, probably 50, 60 people manually that just send invites to them and they'll come in and follow it. So hopefully by this Wednesday and definitely hopefully by next Saturday, we'll be able to have that destination page set up. And everybody's asking me why I didn't wear my damn Santa hat. It don't work very well over your stupid freaking headphone. And I don't know. I guess well, let me see if I can put the headphone on over it. Huh? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I need to get a bigger hat. My head's getting pretty damn big, and so I can't see any of the Facebook comments. I guess everybody has to watch it. They have to come to YouTube to watch it, so that's going to limit. A lot of people won't come to YouTube to watch it. So once we get the Facebook set up, we'll be able to get our numbers back up there to where they normally are. I don't know why a lot of people don't like watching videos on streams on Facebook. What's up, Hillbilly HGB? Dandy Randy. But back to the apple brandy. Yeah, the brand works real well. That's a real good nutrient. And to your question, let's see. Yeah, slow. Yeah, that's right. Well, slow fermentations are what you really want with a brandy and with any of your wines and things of that nature. You know, with sugar washes, you want, you know, those generally go pretty quick unless they build up so much. You know, one thing a lot of people have trouble with the sugar washes are pH crashes, and that's because you've got so much fermentation going on in such a short period of time that you're getting a lot of lactic acid being uh, yeah, it's on Facebook. Yeah, I can't post it right now because I have to go off of me. And are you, Jeffrey? You on Moonshine Militia? You in the Moonshine Militia? I can post a link to that, and that would be the best place to start. From there, we can get you hooked up with all the knowledge. Okay, you're there. Okay, good deal. Yeah, just I'll post it in there and just look for the link and just go in there and follow it. And now I forgot where I was again. That's why I interrupt a lot of people a lot of times, or I won't stop when they start talking because uh, I forget where I was. I'm getting old and forgetful. Somebody asked tell me where I was. We were talking about slow fermentations are good, um, except for like sugar washes, and that's where I was. Lactic acid. Your sugar washes will ferment really quick, so a lot of times it's a good thing. A lot of your rums and a lot of those will ferment really quick. A lot of your tequilas, anything that's got a lot of sugar in it, um, they'll ferment really really fast and vigorously. And when that happens, they generally build up more lactic acid than and other amino acids and other acids than normal. Um, and that's what causes your pH crash to drop so quickly, so fast. So in those, a lot of times people will use there's a powder called 5.2, I think they call it. It's a powder that's used to neutralize and balance and stabilizer. They call it a stabilizer. It's designed to kind of stabilize the pH. But you can do the same thing with some cheap old oyster shells, crushed oyster shells that you can pick up at the farmer feed supply. They use them to supplement chicken feed, and the chickens will eat it, and it'll help build up their shells so they have a harder shell that's easier to, I guess, transport and uh, and reduce the loss of cracked eggs, broken eggs. But those oyster shells are very very good for throwing in there. If you can put them in, it doesn't work fast like a baking soda, but baking soda has sodium in it, and sodium and yeast don't get along very well. So that causes stress when you have to use a baking soda to bring your pH up because it's stalled and pH is dropping down to 2, and it's just not going to do anything but kill the yeast at 2. So calcium carbonate's basically what the oyster shells are, and you crush those up and put them in a little mesh bag, so they're easy to take out when you're done and wash off, and you can reuse them, and keep using them. Make you a little cheesecloth bag and sew them up in there, or make a little pouch, or you can use those little small paint bags or whatever. Just uh, makes it a lot easier just to throw them in there, pull them out, rinse them off, and use them again. You can reuse them, and they basically, until acid gets on them, and they're just stable. And then as the acidity builds up, it neutralizes itself by dissolving a lot of this calcium carbonate. But if you were to try to just take some calcium carbonate powder and if you drop it on your mash, you'll see it instantly floats, and it's hard to get it to mix in. And even when it's mixed in, it's not really part of the solution yet. So it's just kind of hard before it dissolves into it. But you can, keep you some like in a gallon jug in like the bottom of the the crushed oyster shells. You always get a bunch of the powder, and you can pour that in like gallon jugs and let it dissolve over a long period of time, and it'll eventually dissolve for you. And yeah, yeah, just rinse them. Yeah, you can boil them too. That's a good point. You should rinse them off and clean them. Make sure there's no bacterias on there, and um, good idea. You put them in some boiling water as soon as you get them, as soon as you make that bag. And before each use, if you throw it in some good hot water, boiling water or something, kill everything off, and that way you don't carry over some lactose, infections from one to the next, which some people consider a good thing, which it can be if it's at the right time. But if you get them in there at the wrong time, it's not necessarily the best thing. So later in fermentation is a pretty good time to. Damon, I don't see you, brother. You got your camera on? Hey, what's up?
Oh shit! Looks like Phil did not add his shit in here.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So we'll get it. We're getting it. But
Damn
yeah,
it, man!
the numbers, hell, not as many. And I did this to the militia page instead of to Fields. I should have done it to Fields, shouldn't I, on the YouTube. I wonder if we could
It's
do both on YouTube, multicast to YouTube, to do two different channels.
you can multi-cast cast to anything. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like
see, Phil
two
was
different.
Phil was supposed to come on here into this because I had already gone in here and set up, this Shine Talking Shots page for you.
Right, right,
He was supposed to come in here and add his destinations in here as well.
right.
So that way we could all use his destinations here as well as on his.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's. We'll get it worked up and worked out. Yeah,
uh,
where's your Santa's helper hat?
um, hold on, I got it right over here. Hold on a second.
All right. I hope it's a I like titties baseball hat like Phil's.
Nope.
All right.
There you go.
HK? No, who does that say?
Just pieces.
All right.
It's a horror movie.
Reese's Oh, it's a horror movie. Pieces. Where the hell you get horror movie hats?
Yeah, horror
I
movie
didn't even know
hats.
they made hats for these movies. You got an engraving kit that you're using, or what they call them? What is that?
I get them from a place called Fright
Embroidery
Rags.
machine. Yeah, huh?
Get them from a place called Fright Rags.
Right,
Oh
rag.
shit! Now Wayne comes in
Oh,
here.
here we go. What's going on, Wayne? Now, when I first saw Hog Runner, I thought that was Tom, but this is someone from Arkansas, right?
Yeah,
Cool. Now, is this somebody we met in Arkansas while we were down there?
I'm not even sure. Hog Runner, what's your 411? Oh man, I gotta get
Yeah,
up
what's
at
the
four
skinny
o'clock in
on
the
the hog?
morning, dude.
Huh?
I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Chris
You
from
do.
Mississippi.
You get up.
Yeah,
You're getting up at 4.
yeah.
Then now you know how Mark feels. He has to. He's sitting here doing these streams, getting drunk with us, man, and till like 12, and then getting off and waking up at 3 to go to work. Fuck that. I don't blame
Oh
him, man.
man.
It's no.
Yeah.
Chris from Mississippi. Okay.
Look at that. All right.
I just assumed that Hog Runner might be one of them Razorbacks.
Yeah. I could have. Man, I was hoping Phil would have gotten
Hogs
in
and hog
here.
in the left lane. There you go. Do you hunt a lot of hogs down there, Chris?
Mm. Whew, shit.
Because I think that'd be a good service, wouldn't it? Hog removal, free hog removal. Get all the damn meat free. Then open up a bacon plant. Make them bacon.
Making bacon, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Over in
Was it
Texas.
distilling?
Is that close to Uncle Ted's outfit over there? Y'all ever watch Ted Nugent? I used to watch him back in the day. Uncle Ted. I like old Ted. He's a different breed of guy. I like him though.
Distilling
I
101
always thought
podcast, baby.
back in the day, man, when he played music, I always thought he was a wild man, a party animal, but he doesn't, man. He doesn't drink, smoke, or do anything, man. You'd think he would,
Well,
being a rocker and doing all the shit he did over the years, but he's never been into all that. Poor guy. Doesn't know what he's missing.
looks like I'm already following your Distilling 101 podcast page.
All right. Well, I can't go in there and look at it right now. It swaps me out of my primary Facebook into a separate one. I know Tom. I got to get him to. I think he liked it and didn't follow it, so I got to get him in there to follow it. And Roger can't even get his ass in there. He's sick. He's not able to be here. He's sick. He was sick Wednesday when I talked to him, and he said it's even worse now. And he's sounded pretty bad. Yeah, I like Uncle
Damn.
Ted.
Well, I think I'm following because when I go to the page here, it doesn't give me the option to follow. It just has message, liked, and
Well,
search.
that's the other page. That's the main 101 distilling page. That's not the actual podcast page. That's the actual group. That's the group 101 distilling group. And
Okay,
that's
so
what
there's
I'm
another
when I
one.
do the videos, I'm gonna post them to that and archive them in there and store them in there. When I'm gonna post them, of course, to militia and a few other pages I'm admin in, but and moderate. But I definitely, it should say 82 members or maybe 83. But I'm afraid to go to it, look at it, because I know it's going to mess up my stream yard as soon as I swap out of
Mm.
Facebook, because that's how I sign into StreamYards through that. So,
Yeah, this one's Distilling 101 podcast page. When I go to it, it says it's got 25 likes, 82 followers,
okay, that's the one. Follow that.
but it doesn't give me the option to follow.
Well, you may have already followed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Then when I go to see who's following, it doesn't tell me.
Yeah, it won't let you. You have to be admin on that page. On those type pages, you have to be admin to look at the damn. I have to sign out of my Facebook and go into the 101 Facebook, the other page. It's confusing. I should have named them different things so they wouldn't, because it confuses me. I'm like, which page am I on? Yeah, I should. I might change it. I don't know if Facebook will let me. I will. I'll change that group page a little bit. But we'll get it all
That's
worked
just-
out, man. No worries, no worries. It's all work in progress.
Oh
So
yeah.
how's Florida? Did you visit with Mark today?
No, I haven't flown out yet. I'm flying out in the morning.
Oh, you
Um,
haven't gone to Florida. Okay, I thought you were in Florida right now. Where the hell are you now?
I'm at a hotel in Nashville. I fly out in the
Oh,
morning. That's why I gotta
oh, I
get up at
see.
I gotta get up
I
at 4 because I gotta be at the airport early as fuck.
Wow, I
So
see.
yeah,
Well,
nuts.
can't wait till December 21st. Actually, the 20th. Dan Gray and I and some of his buddies are
Yeah, it sounds
driving
like it'd be a
down
good
to
time.
Old Fort. Yeah, I'd like to get a bunch to go. If anybody gets a chance to come on over, it'd be a good time for sure.
Sounds like it's gonna be a
But
lot of fun.
yeah, it will be handing out toys and seeing all those happy faces. Much, a lot of disparity.
Yeah,
So
that'd be good.
hopefully we can bring a little happiness to their lives for at least a little while.
That'd be good. That'd be real good.
Axis,
What the
honey.
heck? Did you
Awesome.
did you post this to the militia page?
Yeah, should have posted.
I didn't
I'm
even
not
look.
seeing it though, but I know damn sure it did. Maybe it didn't. I know that I did. Yeah, let's see.
Let's
Yeah, how do I pin it at the top? That some bitch has already dropped down. Let's see. Toby's already
there
posted. Well, that was 2 hours ago. Why'd mine? Maybe if I like it, it'll pop it back up to the
you
top.
are. I see it right there.
Yeah, it's like,
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add everybody in that motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, why did I say add everybody loves Raymond? What shit is that?
Everybody loves Damon. That's what they're saying. Where you see that at?
No, I typed in at everybody like I normally do. Hmm. Sometimes these tags I post don't work. It kind of aggravates the piss out of me.
I've never used
Oh, I
them.
think I think it's because it's got to be.
Now, is this Shadow Morgan or the real Mark Morgan?
I think it's got to be my post, and I can tag everybody in there. So what I'll do is
Well, how do
share
I
this
do it?
motherfucker. If you go to your original post and go into the comments and put the @ symbol
Yep.
and just put everybody at everybody.
All right. Comment. Everybody. And it says everybody loves Raymond fans. What the hell? Is that what happened to you too?
Yeah, I did. Oh,
At everybody space. Delete
let's see. There
this.
should be.
Now let's see if that posts. Okay.
I'm gonna try something here. Oh, it's at everyone.
Is it?
Everyone. Try at everyone.
Everyone needs little Jesus.
No, just it should be at everyone, and it'd be
That
everyone
was
in
the
the.
first thing popped up. I'm gonna take out everybody out. All right. Looks like Alfredo's Navy Strength Rum release coming January 4th. Oh hell. Tomorrow's the concert. For those that don't know, if you're near Waverly, Ohio, there's going to be a pretty good concert tomorrow from 12 noon till they don't know when, just to whenever it ends. And bring $5 in a toy. It's got to be a wrapped up new toy. And that'll be your entry. And lots of talent from Ohio and in that area. Going to be playing music all day and into the evening. Should be a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with it, on the Moonshine Militia page, you might have to scroll down a little bit. Let's see if I can repost that or move it up. It gets bumped down pretty quick. We get a lot of posts. This
Yeah.
is a good thing. Look at those copper cups, would you?
Yeah, did you see those cups I got today? Those are pretty fucking
Yeah, it's
cool.
awesome.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah, they look it. And Tracy made those, or
One of the I can't remember the guy his name that he's got working there, Mike or Mark, something like that. It's one of his kids. They're
okay.
teaching him how to do copper work.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I
Yeah,
see that.
yep, little Haley. Good stuff, man. Really good work too. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it looks good. Tell you,
Got two of
somebody
them.
else that does pretty damn good work is old Wayne at Ozark.
Yeah, he does mediocre work at best.
You should see this. Look at this thing. I
Wayne
got
does
this
good work.
funnel from Wayne, and you look around it, and it's hard to find the seam.
Right there.
And
You
I
can,
mean,
yeah,
you have to look right on the edge. There's one little tiny spot that has just a little bit of color
on the
coming
outside, yeah,
through. Yeah, I mean, inside you can't even see it. Yeah, inside it's got solder, so that's the only really way you can tell where the seam is. But look on the other side of that.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see just barely right there a little line, but on down from that, I mean, it just gets lost. It's polished in. It's awesome work, man. Very nice.
Damn Wayne.
He does good work, man. You'd you'd think he'd done that a time or two.
Yeah. Oh, Wayne, look at you. Is he still
Cold
in
in my
here?
neighborhood. Well, I guess that answers the question. It must be Shadow. You know,
Where's Shadow at? I don't even know where he's at.
are you looking at the comments?
Yeah, but where's Shadow live?
Oh, Shadow.
Is he in
Where is Shadow?
Ojai?
No, I was thinking like Indiana or somewhere,
Indy,
Missouri, or
Indiana?
Indiana, Missouri, or somewhere. Where you live, Mark? Tell us. Inquiring minds.
Spill the beans, baby. Spill the beans.
So, what are you drinking, Damon?
I still got a little bit of that peach shine from Ferg.
Ferg's Peach.
Yeah.
Is it peachy?
Yeah. A little bit
Is it
high in proof, but
is it post flavored or just
no,
what's
it's
going
not
on,
post
Gordon?
at all. Pretty good stuff. But I figure I can't take it with me on a plane. I figure I'll drink it up a little bit tonight, and whatever I have left, I'll just leave it in my truck. Yeah, while I'm gone. So
Don't have to worry about freezing.
yeah, it'll be all right. Maybe I'll leave it in here for one of the people that clean the room when I'm gone.
Yeah, I saw about with TikTok. That's a big discussion that everybody's having right now. It's I'm kind of mixed on it. It's I know a lot of people have a lot of business, in their livelihoods that are on there, and they depend on it. So I can see, where they would definitely not want it to go away. And I enjoy watching, some of the TikTok videos. I've never joined on TikTok. I've had a bit of an aversion to it. Nothing to do with the people that are on there, of course, but the people that own it and run it. I've
Yeah,
just been kind of weary, about being owned by China and I know how China hacks, and if they could get a software they could get enough people out there use and build some little back door into it and use it. And that's what they're using it for. That's just all there is to it. That they said, oh, the ownership was swapped to Taiwan and some dude in Kansas or some shit owns it. No, when the CCCP tells you yes, no, and you take orders from them, we know who orders it. And
yeah,
when all that happened, there were certain changes that they were going to make, and CCCP says, no, you're not going to make that change. So we know as long as it's controlled by them, it doesn't really matter who owns it or what their name is. They're just getting paid to own it.
yeah.
So I can see both sides of the coin, but if it really is but down to national security, and right now there's a whole lot. I don't know if a lot of people know it, but there's alerts out right now to watch out for being hacked. There's a lot of hacking going on right now across the U.S. and the world, in Britain and other places too. It's a heightened level. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
if you got that level of security, a lot of they were saying a lot of texting and stuff. You should probably use encrypted texting, um, or they can get you.
And they will.
Yeah, they will.
They
They'll
will.
clean you out. They'll clean your bank accounts. They'll take your accounts over. Any kind of disruption they can cause is, joy to them. And
Yeah.
I'd say quite a bit of Russia involvement right now going on too. I'd say Russia's got a lot of their hackers on there. They got some
I
pretty
know
high
that
level hackers.
there was what was it last year? At some point, there was a lot of the cell networks went down for a day. That was China. China
That
hacked
was
into
when
our
AT
cell
and T.
network.
Remember when we were making fun
Yeah,
of AT&T's like Little House on the Prairie?
yeah,
I posted a little. It was a meme. It had the cast from Little House on the Prairie, and posing for a pic, and I was like AT&T customers right now
yeah.
because they had
That
nothing.
was that was China, and it was just found out that just this past week that it was China. China had hacked into our mobile networks and
Yep.
shut it down. So
That's one thing that
I mean,
really pisses me off about during the Obama network, Obama releasing control and ownership of the internet and internet to a consortium in the Netherlands and stuff. I
that
have a lot
was
of issues with that. He really overstepped his bounds. I don't think he should have been able to even do that without congressional order. Because we got to maintain control of that. And if we have control of it, anytime we get a lot of hacking or something coming from a specific country, cut them off. And they may raise
yeah.
hell.
There's
And, sorry, fix your shit.
But now there's they're having those big issues now with all those drones showing up all over in America. Those huge drones,
Yeah,
and people are just fucking clueless as to what they are. And
that's the future, man. The future warfare is going to be drones, and
oh yeah,
it's battle bots and drones. That's people. Oh, that's Buck Rogers shit, and that's not going to happen for 50 years. No, that's if you live another
have
20
you seen
years,
those
it happened.
have you seen those drone fleets that China has? They have drone fleets. If they
Did you
decide
see the? Did
they
you see
decide to go
the
to war
video
with
I
those
posted?
things,
Did you see
now,
that video I posted with the Christmas thing? That
oh yeah, the Santa Claus
all
thing and
those
everything.
drones. I mean, they
Yeah.
can program those drones to fly synchronously. You know,
Oh yeah,
and those are just little teeny ones. They've got some major drones that can use
size of
facial recognition software.
yeah,
They can fly into a crowd, find a certain person's face, fly right in front of you, and put a hole in your head, man,
yeah.
just like that. It's scary the shit that they can do with them already that most people don't even know about, man. And that's the future of warfare is drones. It's all the
Drone
battles.
the drone the size of a cockroach that'll just fly straight through your head.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the future of warfare is gonna be right here. Then there's gonna be like warehouses of teenagers that think they're playing video games and they're out there actually doing real killing. They might not even know it. And that'd
Yeah.
be a wild movie to make. That'd be a good movie to make. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's what's going to happen, man. I mean, they've got that now. They've got trailers and set up. They just pull them in, and these guys go into the trailers and punch the clock, and they fly the drones. All
Yeah,
over.
Jeffrey, that's what I was talking about. Those drones flying over Jersey right
Yeah,
now. They're big ones too. They don't and the FAA is telling people to steer clear of them because they don't know what it the FAA doesn't know what they are. And I'm like, well, those don't you think maybe you should intercept them?
or maybe take a 308 and pop them. You know,
I'd fucking start shooting them down if I was
little
so
five
I'd be
five.
like,
Absolutely, you fly one over my fucking house, see what happens.
yeah,
Bitch is
yeah.
mine.
The FAA is saying stay clear of them. We don't know what they are.
Right.
Well, I'm
How
about to
about shooting
find
one
out real
down, finding
fast.
the fuck out? It's like a
Yeah, I'll
balloon
find out.
flying over the country. They just let that motherfucker fly all the way over our country from Washington to fucking the Carolina coast, and then they shoot it over the ocean. I
Yeah,
guess it might have been afraid of what was in it when it dropped. We didn't want to drop something that
yeah,
might have some toxins or something. But at the same time, some bitch should have been shot before it ever hit Washington. They should have seen that coming, and they did. They knew it was
yeah.
coming. They saw that thing
Oh yeah,
flying over Pacific Ocean.
yeah. These fucks, clueless people in fucking office right now. Got a month left. A little over a month.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we can straighten some shit out.
yeah,
Hopefully.
definitely going to get some shit straightened out. I'd like to see Matt Gates get his appointment. Like he's a little bit too fiery for some GOPs, and I guess the ones that need Vagisil every once in a while. I like him, man. He's got a lot of spunk and fire in him. That's what's needed. People that are motivated. That's problem. Too much passivity in government and stuff. What we allowed them to do with the pardons like that. I mean, that's a crime within a crime. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that's something that every president's done since who was it, Eisenhower, or even
So I
before
mean,
that.
what does the future hold? A president get in there and say, okay, you know, for the next person that assassinates X, or Y, you know, go ahead and take care of it. I'll give you a pardon. I
Well,
mean,
no, that's something
we're
that they normally do on their as they're going out.
right, right. Or
Um,
when they come in, a lot of times though, the day they come in, they'll do some pardons. But yeah, it's but yeah, Obama should never had an ability to give the internet away. That was a strategic thing for the United States to have kept, and he's gave that shit away.
but I don't know that. I don't know that he really did. I mean, that's. I think that was honestly. I don't know that anybody can actually give that away.
Well,
That's
it's controlled to internet, and who the people that control internet control all the IP addresses, and if your IP addresses go away, you go away. You can't do anything
uh,
without that IP address, and that's who
there's ways
controls them
around, but
and gives them out.
there's ways around a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could probably hack into somebody else's or use somebody else's, but yeah, that was at least a little bit of control, that was given away.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and
that's
he should have
they
never been able to do that.
they giving away a little bit of control, a little bit of time, a little bit at a time.
Yep, next thing you know, we have done.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like it. Probably do another shot. Talk about something else. I'm getting depressed thinking about that shit. I hate it, man. It just gets me riled up. I just want to.
Well, there's the problem is now that there's so much. Like I was saying the other day, I mean, great. We took a big slope in the last 20 years, but it's been going on since the 20s. So in order to reverse everything to correct the path, there may be some quick fixes to make us feel better in the immediacy, but in order to really correct the path that we
Right.
need to be on as a country, it's going to take a long fucking
Oh yeah. I
time.
mean, you know how hard it's going to be to get rid of the Federal Reserve and go back to the banking system we once did.
Yeah,
You
to
know.
get how long it's going to take to get rid of fucking the Department of Education, the Department
Well,
of
that
you
might
know.
not take so long because that looks
Well,
like.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of these departments that do absolutely fucking nothing but create government jobs to do absolutely fucking
Right.
nothing.
Well, it's just
Um,
a method of I don't know how of stealing money from the citizens and from the
yeah, that's all
tax.
this.
It's
You know,
it's
they say
it's
that's
like it's perfect example. Kamala Harris has it's what two or
disappeared,
three 2 billion to run a campaign on. So
and she's
she's doing
disappeared
stuff, and
now that she's lost. She's
yeah, well,
disappeared now.
she's got all that money. She's
Yeah,
they've spent like a hundred, no, like I remember 2 million or something to set up a. I can't remember. Maybe it's $100,000 to set up. No, it's $200,000 to set up a little studio to do a podcast. And it was like cardboard sprayed and painted, you
yeah.
know, and it probably cost a couple of few $1,000s to do that, and the rest of it got skimmed off. And there's so much of that skimming. Hopefully the
Oh yeah,
Department
oh
of
yeah.
Government Excess can take
Well, it's
care of
like
that.
what they're saying now since COVID. 7% of federal workers have actually gone back to work, and now there's like $7 trillion worth of buildings that are federal buildings that are sitting empty,
Yeah.
that they can get rid of
Musk know
because
what to
no,
do with that, won't he?
because they're empty.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Lease.
if 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 after COVID, if they didn't go back to work, that proves that they
They're
weren't
not
needed.
essential. They're not
Yeah,
essential.
they weren't needed to begin with.
Right.
So get the fuck rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Any government employee that's not essential, it's not essential. You know, that's
and
the big story.
I would argue that probably about 80% of government employees are probably not fucking essential.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even more.
Yeah. Get rid of those though. You just increase the
And how much more money we would have as a country and
unemployment.
as a people if we got rid of even half of government employees.
If we
Oh,
can get rid
baby.
of all the illegals and half the government employees, we'll save so much money. You know, it kills me to see some of these hospital chains shutting down
Fuck yeah.
because they weren't reimbursed from the government for a lot of the COVID,
Stupid shit. Yeah.
expenditures, and they can't stay open because they're not getting any money for helping all the illegals that are coming in left and right. Schools are going to be the next thing that they're not going to be able to maintain their budgets with all these additional kids that can't even speak the language. So
Well,
that's a lot of special education requirements and individual education requirements, and we just can't do
or
that on public school.
on top of that, we're going to look at housing. Is going to the housing market's going to collapse because they're forced to house illegals.
Right.
They're housing them in hotels. Hotels are going to start
Big nice
collapse
hotels too.
closing. Yeah, they're going to start closing doors because they can't afford to stay open anymore because they're not making money.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's amazing.
so there's a lot of shit that's going to happen. So
Well,
people don't see it.
a lot of the first thing that's going to happen is a lot of deportations, and the way that it's going to
Hey,
happen, the way
and
it's going to happen.
before that happens, I was born in Ohio. Okay, I have a birth certificate, just so you know.
Okay, it's a. I thought she was born in Havana.
No, baby, I'm I'm 100% American.
All right, but one thing that's going to strike a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to see it as fascist and all this is when we start involving, the National Guard to round up a lot of illegals, to help support ICE. And it's going to shock a lot of people. A lot of people haven't seen anything like that. And I guess since World War II, when we had to isolate a lot of Japanese people, and put them into
Mm.
camps because we didn't know who we could trust or not. A lot of people think, oh, that's the worst thing America ever did. No, it's something that you have to do to maintain security. You just can't, we
Well,
can't continue to leave
yeah, I
ourselves
think
wide open, like that.
with that, I think that was incorrect. I think we did that totally incorrectly. That's the
We
way we
could
went
put them in
around
a
that.
nicer camp, but we should have definitely put them in camps because we didn't know who
Yeah,
we could
I
trust.
disagree. I disagree with that completely,
And it's like
100%.
Chinese now. What percent of the Chinese people over here right now are, considered spies or actually working or sleepers
Well,
or, it's a high
yeah, different
percentage.
times and yeah, different times, different. Yeah,
Yeah, desperate times calls for
um,
desperate measures. I hate it, and I know I agree it's wrong, but
yeah.
what's the alternative? Just keeping our pants down and just being, wide open, and you never know what can happen when you get like that.
Yeah, there'll be ways to fix it all eventually, but you're
But
depressing me.
yeah, I know. And there's going to be, some law changes like, right now there's most states don't have stop and ID. I think,
Oh.
for they're going to have to for 3 years we're going to have to forfeit maybe that constitutional right.
No,
What is it? The fourth,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do not forfeit any constitutional rights. Period. That's where you're gonna. That's where you're gonna. Your slippery slope. When you start forfeiting constitutional rights, regardless
right?
of the reason, you start forfeiting constitutional rights. We're gonna go down that hill because we're not gonna get them back. I don't care
Well,
who's in power.
as far as
You give
stop
up.
and ID, that's a state thing. So, really, they've left it up to the states at this point. So anymore, it's really not considered a constitutional thing because anything that's considered constitutional, they don't allow states to make their own laws on. Like, and they're doing that a lot with the Second Amendment. A lot of these states are trying to, you know, uh, create a lot of issues. Uh, with the Second Amendment said it's a state thing, and they've, no, it's a constitutional right. So, but search and seizure, I don't know if identifying yourself is a violation of your you know, personal rights as far as seizure. I don't think they're seizing anything and they're searching. Um, but I think if they did it for a year, we're just going to have stop and ID for a year until we can sweep and clean and
Well,
you know,
first of
and
all,
then make it,
first of all, the
revoked
whole the,
after a year.
the whole ID system it's not a national ID system; it's a state ID system. So
Right.
um, if you're gonna have papers, please show me your papers. We're coming. We're you know
Right. Right.
we're
Right.
going to. You can't. That's
I
not
don't know.
something you can
That's
do.
why I was saying earlier. It starts to borderline on fascism, but you know,
Well,
it,
no, that's not fascistic. Fascistic is the cooperation of business and government intertwining. That is socialist and communistic. That's militaristic. That's dictatoristic stuff there.
right.
Um that's a slope.
I know.
That's a s-
But
that's
how
a
else
that's a
are we
s-
going to find out if somebody's legal or not?
well, that's a slope we don't want to go down, though. I mean, that's definitely a slope we don't want to go to, because once you start, it's a slippery slope, and that's the same slope that we've been going on.
Right.
The,
But
we've been going on the wrong way, but if we start going that same slope, but we say it's for a good
damn, this
reason,
fucking hat's getting hot, man.
we're
This thing's
we're
hot as
still
hell.
we're still going down that same slope, and we're going to lose the same. We're still don't going down that
Right.
slope.
I mean, I don't like the thought of having to do that. But I mean, how else are we gonna police it? How else are we gonna find out if somebody's legit or not? If they're not being forced to show, their citizenship or proof of citizenship. I mean, at least for just a short period of time until we can get a hold of it and
Now,
control
and
it.
and
I mean,
that's and that's one thing. There's no short period of time. If you give the government a short amount of power, they're never going
well,
to
I
give
mean,
it back to you.
you could create the legislation to where
It doesn't matter. They'll
that
never
it
give it
could
back.
revoke after a certain period of time, and
You won't get it back. Period.
yeah,
Never. You give them a little bit, and they'll keep it.
yeah.
That's the government. That's the nature of government. That's why
Well, that's
that's why
government
we
that's
that's why we
run
have
by corporations and not by the people. If your government's run
no.
by the
That's
people for the people, then you should have more control over it than that. But we don't have control at all.
that's why we that's why we have constitutional protections.
Right.
The
Right. I
government
mean,
was the
I agree
government.
with you. I'm just figuring how we're going to do it, and what's it going to take, and how we're going
Well,
to do it.
there are constitutional scholars out there that are a lot smarter than I and you that can figure that out.
Well,
Yes.
I'm a constitutional scholar. You didn't know that?
You know, I mean, I've read my Constitution several hundred times, and I've read the history. I've read, a bunch of,
Yep.
shit
I
about the
used to be able to
Constitution, but
sign all the
but I would
Articles
not,
of Confederation.
but I would not be able to. I just know that to give the government that power to police, even to give them that power to try and find the people that aren't legit, is a mistake, because they'll use that power against even the people that are
Well,
legit.
yeah, of
And
course they'll
we-
abuse
we've
it.
we've found that out over the last 8 years, not over the last eight, but the last four, and then the four previously with
Right.
Obama. So, I mean, they did the same thing with, weaponizing the justice system, weaponizing the IRS.
Yep.
They'll do that. Um,
Absolutely.
and
I mean,
by
they've got it
Oh,
packed.
great, great. Now my
Hold
laptop
on, let me
battery's gonna
take this real
die.
quick. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the real ID process. I'm not too hip on that either. That is, show me your papers, please. My battery's gonna die in this fucking laptop. Damn it. Let's see if I gotta enjoy the silence for a second.
Yeah, there's no silence around me, baby. You know better than that.
What did I just step on? I think I just stepped on fucking.
Yeah, everybody's got the real ID. Before you can get on a plane, you're going to have it. I mean, I hate the thought of having to do a stopping ID. I can't stand the thought of that because I know how tyrannic a lot of cops are. I'm pro cop, so I know there's a lot of good cops, and we damn sure need them. And I never hear me defunding the police, but I do know
Oh,
that there's
son of a
always bad
bitch.
eggs in everything we do. And every job and business and everything out there, and there's some that'll abuse it. But I think if we may have to do it for a short period of time. I know it's giving up a right, but
Well,
I hate the thought of it. But
I hope not.
I'm thinking of
And
alternatives. How in the hell are you gonna find out somebody's legal or not?
I hope not. And if I ever got pulled over and asked to prove, I'll be one of those motherfuckers that's in the news because I'll be like, fuck you, and I'll take off driving.
Don't take off
I-
driving. Just start recording it.
I'll
Set
be
them up
like,
for
am
a
I being
lawsuit.
detained? Am I
Yeah,
being detained?
yeah.
Well,
Set it
fuck
up for a
you.
lawsuit. You set it up for a lawsuit. Don't feed into it because getting vigilant and getting crazy just gives the judges reason to scrutinize you. Just be calm, cool, collected, and ask them,
Well, because I
why they
know that.
pulled you over, and but technically, if you get pulled over driving, you have to provide an ID
No, you
because
do not. No, you do not. They have to prove.
well, they
They
have to have a legitimate reason to
first of
pull you
all they
over.
have to they have to prove to you that you did something that requires you to be pulled over. First of all,
Right, right. There has to
if
be a
they can,
probable
if they can,
cause, a reason for
they
the
cannot,
stop.
they cannot just say, well, you meet the description of somebody. Well, then show me the report where I meet the description.
Right. Well,
I'll wait right here. You just show me that report.
what happens is you get to the courts and the judges listen to it, and the judge says, okay, what was the reason for your stop? Well, we got a report that there was a dude in a gray cap with a big white beard driving
Uh-huh.
a truck of what color, I can't remember, red truck.
Great truck.
And so when I saw you, you kind of fit the description. We didn't get a real good description. So you're like, you can't prove it was me, but that would be enough for them to suspect you, reasonably suspect you, and get your ID. Whether you like
Yeah,
it or not, they would have that probable cause. And you always want to leave it to the judge. Don't
yeah.
fight them. And if they ask you to step out of the car, you have to step out of the car.
No, you do not,
Brother, the Supreme Court, I can cite the
brother.
Supreme
You
Court
do
ruling
not.
that says you do. It's
No,
ruled by the Supreme Court. It's a safety consideration. And if they ask you to step out of the car, 100% you have to step out of that vehicle.
they have
You
to
do not
have
have a
proof.
choice.
They have to have proof of probable cause. If they
Well,
say you match a description, that is not proof of probable cause unless they can prove it.
right. But, well, it's been called in that somebody in a red truck with a gray hat and a white beard
Okay, okay.
did
Then
did
you bring
something.
your supervisor down here because I want to speak to your supervisor.
Okay. Well, they don't have to show you their evidence.
Well, I don't have to show you my ID
Well, they'll that you'll
unless you show
well,
me
what happens
unless
is
you
you
bring your
spend the night
supervisor
in
down here.
jail trying to prove it, and then when you go to the judge, they'll look at you and they'll say, "Sorry, son, but they had enough to pull
Sorry,
you and ask for an ID because you kind of fit the
sorry,
description enough
sorry.
to follow up on that." I don't like it. I mean, but
Mm,
it's just the judge's consent, and it's whatever the judges feel. You're pretty much bound to what the judge says and does. But as far as is, if they have a legitimate reason to stop you and they had probable cause, if they ask you to step out of the vehicle, you 100% need to get your ass out of that vehicle because
mm,
the Supreme Court has backed it 100%. It's a safety thing for the police, and they can ask you to do that at any point in time. And it's 100%. I've done the research. I watch all these, tyrannical cop videos and all this stuff. I'm 100% against, a lot of these things they do, almost all of them. But I've done the research, and there is Supreme Court precedence for yes, you do have to to get out. And if they ask you to, do just get out. There's nothing, I mean,
We'll
there should
see.
be no concerns, but I'm not sure. I think also passengers, anybody in the car that they ask to get out, I think has to get out. Now, as far as IDing a passenger, no. That passenger doesn't have to give up their ID. And as long as they're sitting in that, another seat other than the driver's seat, they're considered private. They're considered private. They can't be touched because they're in private property and they're considered private and can't be touched. But the driver has certain obligations, but and a lot of people, driving is not a right; it's a privilege, and under that privilege, when you sign on to get your license, whether most people realize it or not, you do forego some of your rights, to that type of search. Now, as far as searching your vehicle, hell no, they can't just come up and I demand. And of course, every cop that pulls you smells marijuana, whether they do or not. They'll do anything they can to try to find something on you, to search you and try to, you know, yeah, yeah, they sure can. They certainly can.
They're
It's called a
afraid of
Terry stop.
acorns.
Yep, it's a Terry stop. That's where the Terry stop came from. But yeah, it's there's other precedents as well on that. It's actually I've done the research, and sure enough, they can, because I didn't think they could either. But after reading that, they can bust your damn window out and pull your ass out if you don't cooperate. The best thing to do is cooperate and don't tell them shit. Don't answer questions. Here's my ID. I don't answer questions. Get out. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and that's another thing too. You can show them your ID. You don't have to give them your ID.
present. You have to present your ID. You don't have to give it to
That
them. That's
you don't
right.
have to give that to them.
You present it to them. They can see it.
Look,
But
it's legit. Here's the date.
yep. Oh, that's
I'm
fact.
leaving. I'm
Yep.
leaving.
But when you're driving and you're pulled over legitimately, you are required to give them a license, insurance, and your vehicle
Yeah, I drive
registration.
a company vehicle anyway, so
Yeah,
they
those
can
are the
search the
things you have
truck.
to do. And if they ask you to get out, you got
I don't
to.
know. Half
You
of
don't have
half
to
the
answer
time,
questions, and you shouldn't. Don't ever answer any of their questions, because anything they try to talk to you about, they're fishing. It's all a fishing expedition. They're trying to get information on you that they will use against you.
half the times I go out there and I find a jar in there that I forgot that I had. So they may end up finding something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've actually had a cop find moonshine on me once when I was younger. It was quite an experience. I was with a gal, and
Gotta look around, make sure she's not there.
I was with a gal that I'd been wanting to go out with for a long time. She's no longer with us, so I ain't gonna name her name, but she was a beautiful, beautiful gal. And so we finally hooked up, and we was gonna go to the drive-in, and Miller Drive-In, Pollyanna Drive-In, and I had some shine and had it under the driver's seat, so I thought, and we were gonna go get drunk and watch the movie. And so I was in a Toyota Supra. I was a little crazy man driving fast, and burnt the tires out, and I couldn't get there quick enough, man. And sure enough, state trooper pulls me over. He's a black guy. He's pretty cool. Was was pretty cool. I hated him after that, but he pulled me over and he's asked what's going on. Oh, nothing, nothing. Shine a light around, check me and her out. And it's everything clean, up and up, legit. Okay. And then he shines at my back floorboard, and I guess it rolled out from under the seat. And he's like, And he opens up the door and gets that. And he's like, what's this? I'm like, and he's like, that's a federal offense, son. I'd hate to see you look like a pretty good kid. I'd hate to see your life ruined over, something like this. He says, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you just tell me who's dealing drugs down there at high school, and I'll forget this ever happened. And I'm like, you're not going to bring up my name? No, no. I said, all right. Beth Wharf has been selling drugs out of her locker. He said, all right, son, y'all, you're free to go. So I took off, and I guess that cop went to followed Beth from school to church. Her father was a pastor. She was a salutatorian and very smart, straight laced, very a great person, wonderful gal, and never smoked a cigarette, much less did a drug or anything in her life. So they
This
followed
fucking
her
guy.
from school to church, and I'm sure that motherfucker he was mad at me, man. I'm sure he's like, that son of a bitch, he got me. He got me, you know. Yeah, that's a pretty
Look
good
at you
story.
breaking the
Yeah.
law.
Oh yeah. I was pretty wild. That's some good old shine back in the day. My fine shine. Yeah, that's probably 1979 or 80 when that happened.
Damn,
A few years ago.
you're old, man.
I know. 61. Be 62. Oh, damn.
I'm about to be 51. 2 months.
You're just 50?
Yep, just
Yeah.
50.
74 you was born?
That's correct.
Wow. Shoot, I wasn't making shine by then though. I still hadn't made shine. That was around 75 or 6. Around 76. It's 12, 13. It's after I got that Yamaha 125. I became mobile, man. I was packing that pressure cooker in a backpack and packing corn and cornmeal and sugar and hell yeah, it was awesome. Good times, man. Good times.
They can be. I had I was digging around in one of my chests out back today, and I found I still had probably about probably about 5 pounds of scratch grains from the very first bag that I bought 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago when I first started making liquor.
Cool.
I took it out and I was like, "What? This is still fucking in here."
No bugs or nothing.
No, I just took it. I took it out
Lucky
back and
you.
just dumped it out. I dumped it out in in the woods.
Yeah, the birds will eat it.
I was
Put it in
like,
a bird
"Fuck!"
feeder, man.
Couldn't believe it was still
That
in
bird
there.
seed.
Scratch grains, yeah. It had some wheat,
Yeah.
corn, and all that shit in there. So I was like, "Fuck it."
Bird seed bourbon, baby.
Yeah,
I love it.
I used most of that bag. It had a bunch of shitty ass liquor. That shit.
So how Tom's doing? Did you talk to him today?
Um, Not today. I talked to him.
I thought he might call him today and forgot all freaking about it, man. I got busy.
Um,
Well, I didn't get busy. I laid in bed. I didn't go to bed till about 5 this morning, which is early for me, but Ann was off today, so we laid in and snuggled. It was cold. It was 20 some degrees today here.
yeah,
So
cold
we
as fuck
snuggled
here.
late.
Yeah, I didn't do shit. I got out of bed today and was like, did some shit on a computer, got shit together, did some laundry.
Did you get that True
At
Social login?
now I was starting to. I went to the website and then I who did I oh David I went to the website because I was going to start getting the login done. Well,
Right.
then David Dance sent me a message and he's going back in for surgery again, and he asked me for some more stickers. And I was, oh shit, yeah, let me get those right now. I knew the mail hadn't gone by yet, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll get them stickers and I'll put them in an envelope right now and I'll get them out today. And then I completely forgot about the True Social thing,
Yeah.
so I got him some stickers out
Cool.
before he went back into surgery.
My prayers going
Um,
up for him, man. I hope everything
yeah, he's
works out well.
he'll be doing good. But got him some stickers out. I subscribed to that stamps.com thing because I got a bunch of shit I got to send out, and I got a bunch of shirts and shit. I'm just like, but now I got to fucking go to Florida for a week, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to ship anything out. I'm like,
They set
oh.
it up where we can drop ship everything. Is the best way to do it.
Well, them flags, that's what I'm doing. But the shirts that I'm getting, the guy is right there in the town I live in, so it's he's making them up.
That's good. Yeah, you can pick those up. You don't have to worry about shipping twice. Right.
Yeah,
That's what kills you. When you buy something, you pay, even if it says free shipping, you're paying for shipping. It's just in the
yeah,
cost.
yeah,
So you either get it cheaper somewhere else and pay shipping, or you pay a higher price and it's free shipping. But either way, you're paying for the shipping, and then you got to ship it again. That's why I like drop shipping anytime you can. It's,
yeah. I'm looking at getting some other stuff done. I'm looking at some other. Uh,
I thought it so it'd fit in your boot, Drummond. I thought these flats so they'd fit in your boot.
this is a liquor used to be
Those
sold in a
liquor
flat
bottles
bottle.
flat.
So,
Yeah.
oh, well, I didn't think about that.
I thought these flats
Well,
they fit
the
in your boot
fifth, yeah,
or you in your overall pouch there.
yeah.
I
But I'm
remember I went.
looking at some other vendors about making some stuff for us, about getting some more merchandising and stuff. So hopefully, hopefully by that first quarter of next year, we'll have some more stuff coming up.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
Speaking of putting flat bottles in your overalls, I remember when I was young, I had wearing overalls. They had Hank Williams Jr. was coming to town, and everybody, of course, was going. That's a big thing. So I, of course, went. And I was drunker than hell, and I was saw this woman sitting there and seated, and he kind of gave her the eye, and she looked interested. So I went over and I talked to her, and everything looked promising. So I had that bottle of early times right there in my pouch, and I forgot I didn't have the lid on it. I was just taking it out, drinking it, sliding it right back in the pouch. Just one. And I
wow,
bent over to give her a smooch, and that shit look started pouring out all over. Oh, so much for the kiss, like, God damn it, get the hell away. Oh, it caused a big commotion. And the law's coming over. I get thrown out of the concert. I walk over like an idiot and get my car to drive away. Blue. Yep. It's one of my DUIs out of 10.
wow.
No, I'll tell you about 4 DUIs, 5 PIs, and then one driving on suspended. That's my record. 10. I think there's an actual 11th, but I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, I got quite a bit of trouble for drinking. But
Look
once
at
they
you.
get your number, man, and they know your vehicle, you might as well just trade it in the small town because once they got your number, man, they'll pull your ass over every opportunity they get.
All the time. Yeah.
Shit, I got pulled over once. I sat there and I talked to the cop just like I'm talking to you right now, and carried on the conversation. No, sir, I had a drink earlier. I'm not drunk, and went in blew a .26. And it's like, man, he's almost comatose and dead. I'm like, do I look comatose or dead to you? And he's like, there's no way that your alcohol level can be that high and you be this cognizant, and able to talk like that. There's got to be something wrong. I said, there's something wrong with that machine. I can't be that high. I was drunk and shit. I've always been able to handle it. I drank so damn much, I can get a pretty high alcohol level and still sit there and talk to you, mile a minute like I do. I can sit there and ramble on all night, drunker and shit.
Fuck you.
Going on, Randy?
Oh, Randy Thompson, that fucking guy. He sent me. Randy, I'm sorry. I knew you sent me some messages, brother. I haven't gotten back to my messages. I've been busy as all balls the last few days.
Yeah, I need to call Slacks. I missed a call from him. I think it was yesterday or day before. The day before yesterday because I noticed it yesterday and it was before then. So it doesn't
Oh,
tell me the
shit.
date though. It just says you missed a call. It doesn't say when I got the damn call.
Oh, shit. Slacks never calls me. Shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, you're not on
Ain't that
the
impotent.
you're on the Slacks list.
Ain't that impotent.
David
Yeah,
David Dance don't call me often enough either, so I'm gonna have to talk to David.
that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, Dave's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. I like David Dance. And I was going through the list of the flags that I had sent out because I was looking for an address. I sent out a lot of fucking flags, dude. And
It's awesome.
that's not to mention. I had ordered about 30 flags for myself that I had given away and sold.
Right.
So that's not keeping track of those. That's just the individual flags that we had drop shipped. Damn.
Well, on, Bill. Well, the flags are in, so anybody that wants
Yep.
one, get up with Damon and he'll mail them to you this week sometime.
Yeah, we can get them drop shipped. I don't
Yeah.
got any. I'm in Florida this week. So yeah,
Even if
Randy
you're in the
Thompson.
UK, we can get them to you.
Randy Thompson. I'm in Florida this week, baby. I'll be in Alachua working all week. Man,
Shadow chiming in there. So is that?
that Shadow or is that like Mark Morgan? Mark Morgan.
That's why I'm rewinding because I don't think the last one had the big. Yeah, I can't go back far enough.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll never know. Mark
Unless he
Morgan
chimes in.
in Florida had a flag, but he gave it to Randy Thompson. So he needs another flag.
Well, see, one Mark Morgan had a blue M. See that? I scrolled up.
Oh,
One
so
had a
okay, so
blue M. This one has a
that's not
red M.
Shadow.
Okay. See, I was gonna say one has a blue M, the other one has a red. I don't know. Is that red or is that
Yeah,
fuchsia?
it says it's not Shadow. So that is
That look kind
actually
of purple. Yeah,
that's
that's
Uncle
Mark's.
Moonshine.
It's Uncle Mark.
Right. Yeah, Randy, I'll be working at I'll be staying at a hotel in Gainesville. I'll be working at I don't even know what the facility is called in Alachua. I'll be there Monday through Friday. I'm back on Saturday.
So you're now
Um,
East U.S. covered the whole eastern United States now.
yeah. Well, now they asked me, and I was like, well, it's this close to Christmas. I could really use the extra overtime.
Right.
I'll be getting a shit ton of overtime um, by doing this. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I
So
sent message to my sister and family and everybody talking about when everybody gonna get together for Christmas. Didn't hear anything back. So talking to Dan, I went ahead and set up, playing Santa at Old Fort, for the 21st, leaving on the 20th, get there and 21st all day doing it, come back 22nd. And
of course, your family
so,
got back to you after that, right?
yeah, my sister sends me a message today. Oh, we're all getting together on the 21st. I'm like, well, y'all have fun.
Of course.
Old Santa
That,
won't be there. There's no ho
that's
hos for
how it
you.
works. That's how it works.
Yep. So I'm damn sure not gonna miss that, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, Randy, I got a package at home I got to send out to you, but I won't be back until Saturday to get that out to you. So, well, shit, I should have just brought it with me and I could have given it to you. Yeah. What's going on,
Yeah.
Jay Brennan?
What's
There's
up,
that
Jay?
dude.
What's going on, brother?
Jay Brennan.
Old Fort's in South Carolina. It's really close to. It's kind of southeast of Asheville, close to Waynesville and in that area, and Maggie Valley area. I guess close, not real close, but yeah, I think it's probably about 20 or 30 miles from Asheville and Waynesville area.
Yeah, Jay Brennan. I'm headed down to Florida for a week, so I'll be getting that overtime all next week, baby. All next week. Gonna go see Uncle Moonshine for a minute or two while I'm
Taking
down there.
care of business and working overtime. You work tonight, Mark, or tomorrow?
I think he's got tomorrow off.
Oh, does
That's
he?
why I'll be going to see him when I get in there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true, Jay. The good thing is that tomorrow morning, I I'll be sitting in airports and flying and shit all day tomorrow. 14 hours altogether. From the time I leave my hotel in the morning to the time I get to my hotel tomorrow, it'll be like 14 hours. I get paid double time. It's
Awesome.
Sunday because it's Sunday.
Awesome. Do
Oh
they
yeah.
realize that, or do they not have enough foresight to look
I
into
don't
all
know.
that?
I told him, I was like, I can drive, but if I would have drove, it's there. It would have been the same
Same
amount of
amount of
time,
time.
but
Right.
you know,
A lot more expensive though with gas. I mean,
yeah,
Ann used to drive up here, and hell, the plane ticket at Legion, averages round trip less than just the insurance cost her on the rental car, much less the gas and the time. So it's awesome, man. She
yeah.
just flew
Well,
back and forth.
the with the car rental and with the hotel and the air flights, I dude, I'll tell you later how much they're spending.
Yeah. So did you check
It's
out any of those scary movies? Speaking of which, Jay was talking about he found some new ones. Did
oh,
you,
you found some new stuff.
did you
Skibbity
check out
toilet.
those that I was talking about?
Now I got them written down on my computer at
Yeah,
home.
I gotta look them up on Netflix and see what I
Now
can find. I love scary movies, but it's I just can't remember all of them and everything. It's just getting old,
you
can't remember. I just
now
watch them
now
again.
Jay, you found some new horror movies or some new old horror movies? I love new older horror movies, if that makes sense. When you rediscover old horror movies that you never heard of from the yeah, you know what I mean. Ah, this fucking Peach. Berg's Peach. I told him he needed to proof this shit down a little bit. But
Yeah.
I like it. I like it like that. Oh,
But
hold
what
on.
is Fergie working all weekends now?
Finland or Norway? I just watched a Norwegian horror movie the other day. Oh, those dudes. Yeah, I'll hit you up, Jay, because I like some Scandinavian horror.
Yeah. Did you say horror?
Yes, horror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jay, I'll hit you up, brother. Oh no, Randy, I've been in FSP prison a few times. I've been there. I don't want to go back there anymore.
No,
I don't need to be in that Florida prison system anymore. There, I've been
no,
into those visitor parks quite the many times throughout the whole
not,
state. Don't need to be back there anymore.
not a fun place to be. Nope, nope, nope.
I watched the new one, Jay. It's a new Norwegian. It takes place in Norway. It's called "There's Something in the Barn." It's actually on Netflix right now. It's um, it's now, Randy. I wasn't actually in prison. My dad was in prison in Florida State for a long time, and I went to visit him all throughout the state for a long time. Um, but Jay, this called "There's Something in the Barn." It takes place in Norway. It's a new one, but it's fun. You should check it out. It's about barn trolls or barn elves. Barn elves. Check it out. It's fun. Christmas time. Cool. That's what I'm drinking on.
I'm
Santa's probably
drinking.
drinking on. I don't know who's drinking
I'm
on.
drinking my peach, but mine's 100 proof.
This is real peach. This is 110.
Real
This is why I
peach.
told. This is why
Mine's
I
it's
told.
fake peach.
This is why I told Ferg. I was like, you need to proof that shit down, dude, because the first night I drank like this much, and I was like, woke up 8 hours later, and I was still fucking drunk.
Welcome to my world. This is real peach.
It's all real. Ferg does have some that's about 40 proof that's flavored that he sells to the women, he says.
Man, that's pretty good.
I don't know if I saw that,
So
Drummond Son.
we did find out that I was right. I do believe that they use that Olive Nation peach for this
Well, I
this
saw that. Brian said that.
I knew that flavor. I knew it as soon as I tasted. I'm like, that's post olive. That's what mine would have tasted like if I cheated.
Yeah, Jay, I have a 4-hour layover in Atlanta tomorrow, Jay. So I'll give you a call when I'm in Atlanta. I'll give you a holla.
It's a little easier to drink than my 100. This is 80, I think. Yeah, it's yeah, 40%. Pretty good. I like it. What was the outfit? You remember the guys from Kansas? Is that that I saw posted in the militia page? Remember the science guy from Kansas that was the
That
chemical
was
engineer?
Hoochatown. That was Hoochatown distillery out of
Okay.
I don't think they ever actually joined the militia though.
No, I was going to get up with him and I was going to send him an invite, and I've never been able to reconnect with him, and I couldn't
What's going
remember.
on, Jason?
I enjoyed talking to the guy. He's a science guy, chemical engineer, and comes from a family of
Yeah, I remember
chemists.
you pointed him out to me real fast. You're like, oh look, he's another science guy.
Yeah, man, this is well, he can talk the talk.
Yeah, and I was like, well, at least somebody can. There you
I also wanted to share some information about nutrients. He was kind of ill informed on some nutrient information. I need to help him.
go.
Zinc and some other
Randy,
stuff, selenium and other things.
Randy, I don't know. I should be able. I don't know. What's the Can I bring vacuum sealed corn on an airplane with me back? I don't know.
I'd say,
Maybe
if you check in a bag, is it all carry on?
I'm checking a bag.
And check bags. I don't see why not. Yeah, it's not. You're not flying internationally. If you're coming
Yeah,
in from another country, no, absolutely not. But definitely,
I
yeah.
don't. I'll see.
I got finished stuffing my face right before his podcast, so I was kind of all sleepy. I'm used to sleeping after I eat at 4 or 5 o'clock and have me a little napsy.
Dude, I
Like
had
last night, you came onto the stream last night after a nap, didn't you?
had
Yeah, I
I
did
had a
too. I just woke up.
almost a 2 hour nap. Almost a 2 hour nap.
Yeah, I had a good power nap too. I woke up and instantly went on to the stream, and I'm like, I'm usually pretty damn grumpy when I wake up. I'm not.
Dude, I got
Imagine
home.
that.
I got home. I took the dogs out. I went and sat down on the couch, turned the TV on. I was ass out. I woke up at 8 o'clock. And I texted Phil, "Are you hosting tonight?" And I dicked around for about 5 minutes before I sat down on my computer. And we were late. We were fucking really
Well,
late. Phil was
that's
like,
exactly what happened. We ate, and I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up to her waking me up at 8:07. Honey, are you going to do the podcast? I'm like, what time? At 8:07. Oh shit! And I came, and I'm like, oh, it's not started yet. Awesome. So I was glad that you're slacking.
"Yeah, the what was I gonna say now?"
He's gonna say something about how wonderful I am, or
No, I was gonna say something. Then I started reading the messages here. Bring a separate suitcase just in case because it costs more. Yeah, company's paying for it all anyway, so maybe I'll get a small suitcase when I'm in Florida. Randy can load me up. I know two local guys who might want to at least talk about flags, t-shirts, and stuff. Remind me when you're down here. I heard you good. All right, cool. Take Randy. I'll remember. I'll remind you. I don't know, and this is another thing too. I don't know what my work schedule is going to be like when I'm there. Um, I'm working on. It's a big facility. They have a lot of HEPA filters, a lot of clean rooms. Um, but I'm working on somebody else's schedule, so I don't know what their work schedule is going to be like. I don't know if they're going to work from 9 until noon and take a lunch and then come back, or if they're going to work from 9 until 4 with no lunch. I don't know how they're going to do it. So I'll find out if I'm going to have any free time after Randy. So I don't know. I really don't know what my schedule is going to be like until after that first day or two I'm going to be there. You guys were in the bourbon,
In
or
a
you can get
10-year.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check and see if I can find any down there. I know right there in Gainesville, there's one of those fucking what are they, wine? Because in Florida, you can buy liquor at every fucking store they have around there. So I'll check and see if we can find one. But I'll know better once I get there. Sunday's pretty much the only day I'm going to have when I get there. But I'm going to go hang out with Mark for a couple hours before I head to Alachua. Or actually, before I head to Gainesville to my hotel. Um, and
Yeah, it's Heaven Hill. Yeah, I was thinking that's Kentucky stuff. Henry McKenna. Special
yeah,
Barrel. Heaven Hill. I like Heaven Hill.
Mhm. Yeah. So we'll see. Now, hopefully, I don't know what the whole scope of work's going to be there either. So I might get there. Half the time when I go to these jobs like this, people are like freaking out, and it's not really that bad. And I'm like, "Dude, we can get this fucking done in 3 days." But then I don't know. We'll see. We shall see.
So when you go to places like that, are you there just to assist, or are you
No,
the
I'm there to
lead?
assist this time. Um,
There's certain places that you go. Yeah, I drink a lot of Evan Williams, Elijah Craig, a lot of Heaven Hill products, man. I love it. They're good stuff. I'm sorry, I asked you a question, didn't ram my mouth.
I've been sent to places where they expect me to take the lead, but they don't tell me to, and they don't pay me to, so I don't.
Right, right.
I go there and I'd be like, if I was you, I would do this, this, and this. But you tell me what you want me to do. So,
Yeah, I know sometimes you're in the lead capacity though in certain places, and in others, I guess there's a supporting staff.
yeah. If I'm supposed to be there as in the lead capacity, I'm told before I get there.
Right.
Um, this time I'm not. I'm there as a body to help, because they need work that needs to be completed before the end of December. So I said, okay,
Cool.
we'll see.
Y'all keeping up with us out there?
We'll see
Yeah, Heaven Hill's got a
how they
lot of
do.
good products, man. I
Henry
like a lot of
McKenna
Heaven Hill
10
stuff.
barrel.
Like the Heaven Hills.
Yeah.
That
All right,
bottle
man.
and bond, Evan Williams
It's
bottle and
coming up
bond.
to it's coming up to 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to cut out. I need to get
Yeah,
some
me
sleep.
too, man.
4 o'clock comes awfully early.
Yeah, yeah. And I've got to get some shit done. I've got some stuff I need to get done. And
But Jay, I will call you tomorrow from Atlanta. I'm gonna put it on my phone right now as a reminder so I don't forget, because I'm old. I will forget. Um, so I will call you tomorrow from the airport, and I'm gonna tell everybody, hey, I'm talking to somebody's famous's fiance right now.
yeah, it's like Amanda's husband or soon to be. Then
But I'll give
like
you a holler,
Peach's husband.
Jay. Yeah, Peach's husband. I'll give you a holler, Jay. But Santa, I'm gonna head out. Mark, Morgan, if you're still listening, I'll see you tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yep. I don't know, Jay. I don't think it is. Um, the bottle and bond. Oh, shit, I usually have a bottle right here at my feet. I don't right now. I drank it. This is what I was drinking. I finished off last night, and that is. I don't even know if it tells me how many years old that is. It's the barrel proof. Good stuff. That's
You know,
my
I think
favorite.
if his
One of my
if
favorites.
he's going by bad Santa, his Santa hat should be like dirty or a black Santa hat or something.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. Not gonna make that purchase. I like we like
I'm gonna get you
red.
one. I'm gonna get you
Yeah,
one.
get me a
All
black
right,
one.
I'm out. I
All
love
right,
y'all.
y'all. Love y'all. Peace out. Shine on.
Love you.